Ring the bell.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Slam Society. I'm your host, Karlifornia, once again here with the TNA Sacrifice pay-per-view review from March 8th, 2024 at the St. Clair College in Windsor, Ontario, Canada. Let's crack on with it. As we know, I haven't been too chuffed with TNA and their creative lately, so it remains to be seen how I feel about this show, right? TNA Digital Media title match begins proceedings here as Crazy Steve defended against Joe Hendry. So the battle of a former champion with the current champion here. I would have thought AJ Francis and Joe would have had their first singles match here, but I guess they are taking their time with it. Joe talked about being the longest reigning champion, and then okay. Here's the thing, right? Look, I like Joe Hendry. I find him quite entertaining, but got to be honest with you, the shtick is starting to get a little bit old for me. It's just yeah. Anyway, AJ Francis interrupted. He's joining commentary for this. Not much to say really. It was your typical match that you'd expect from a Joe Hendry match. You know, showcasing his strength. Steve ended up retaining the belt thanks to AJ Francis getting involved, which is always good to see a bit of heel heat taking place in pro wrestling. Steve Maclin and the Rascalz interview with Gia Miller is next. It's all typical stuff. Maclin stated he won't be coming out to help them or with them to the ring for their match. And now they're not going to come out and help him. So backfired, Steve. Anyway, then he said it's a cookie cutter stuff. Let's move forward. Tag team match here. Speedball Mountain, Trent Seven and Mike Bailey taking on the Rascalz. Trey, Miguel, Zachary, Wentz. I was expecting Speedball Mountain to get the win back here for the third battle between them and the Rascalz. Trent is the big man in the match, and he's the wild card. Zachary and Trey, they worked on Trent's leg. Bailey got the hot tag and did what he does best, bro. They really went for it on a pre-show match here. Bailey got spray painted in the eyes, and it was a near fall thanks to Trent Seven getting involved. But Speedball Mountain got the win after one of the Rascalz accidentally sprayed the other in the eyes with spray paint. Very nice. And an end to the countdown to Sacrifice. Opening matchup for the show. Quite surprising to see this was the opening matchup. Nick Nemeth making his singles and TNA pay-per-view debut here. I know he's had singles matches on Impact, but I'm talking about, you know, pay-per-view singles match. He's taking on Steve Maclin. This feud has been brewing for a few months now. As we know, the last pay-per-view, Nemeth was not there because he was in Japan winning the whatever that new title is that they've got over there. So I want to say this about Steve Maclin. He's very underrated, and he was cooking with gas last year, and I still don't know why they pumped the brakes on him when he was TNA World Champion. I guess they wanted to go in a different direction, but it always surprised me. Nemeth, once again, he is the master of selling. He did a great job here. He made Maclin look $1 million, even though you knew Nemeth was going to win. I kept thinking, man, Steve Maclin should win this match because not everyone needs to have a fairy tale beginning, right? I said this about Will Ospreay. I would have had no problem with Takeshita beating him at AEW Revolution. I would have had no problem with that because it would have been something different, you know? Would have done something for Takeshita, but it would have done something here for Steve Maclin. But as we know, this is what tends to happen. Someone gets brought in and they have to get, you know, the big wins early on. We can't have them have their party spoiled now, can we? Maclin tried to hit, caught in the crosshairs, went flying to the outside and probably spot of the match. It was a war between the two. Steve hit the KIA and Nemeth rolled to the outside. Very well done. Although I was having issues with the feed that I had, I was watching from. It was getting a little bit I don't know, just kept cutting out here and there. But anyway, they shared finishes, both got a 2 count, but then Nemeth hit a super kick into the danger zone for the win. So Nemeth doesn't retain, he just wins the match. The system have an interview with Gia Miller, and it's cookie cutter stuff again. It's not, it's not really that important for me to mention it, guys. TNA World Tag Team title matches next. The ABC, Ace Austin, Chris Bay defending against the System, Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards with Alisha Edwards at ringside. I really wanted Edwards and Myers to win so much. I want the system to work. I'm getting so sick of that phrase being thrown around now. They went back and forth, and honestly, I thought, yeah, you know what? The ABC's run needs to be over soon. I am over the tag team division being the X division tag team division. I think it's time for them to go do something else for a while. I don't know why I've written this, but I wrote Alisha Edwards was the hero of this match. She made it interesting for me, I guess you could say. The ABC fired up big time. They did the usual shtick. It was back and forth. It was anyone's. Ace weathered the storm, but there was a roster cut from Myers, followed by a Boston knee party from Eddie Edwards. And yeah, bro, the system worked. New tag team champions, other system. No disqualification match is next up. I'm flying through this review right now, and I do apologize, but time is money, baby. No DQ match. PCO takes on Big Bad Con. Con cut a great promo prior to this match beginning. He talks like a wrestler. He carries himself like a bad man. He demands for PCO, and the lights went out and PCO showed up. The war began between these two. It was a palate cleanser that I was happy for. PCO, I've said it heaps of times, he's inhuman. I don't understand how this man is able to keep taking the bumps he takes. He hits his suicide dive through the ropes on Con, and it's just so entertaining to watch. They brawled to the stage and they were just teeing off on one another with cookie sheets, which is great again because it's good to see someone actually get hit in the head. And I'm sorry, I know people out there are like, oh, CTE. I know. It's not a chair, it's a cookie sheet, but still, if it were real, you'd hit someone in the head, right? So it's just refreshing because you don't see it too often anymore. Con hit 3 really stiff backdrop type maneuvers on PCO. He had him with the back suplex, picked him up, but then just like dropped him, didn't go down with him. And the way PCO's body actually bounced off the hard staging was sickening, but fantastic. Confronting. That guy must be so sore. I don't know how he gets through life at his age. I was just not talking. I was just watching this thing that Test Andrew Martin, former Test, his last interview. I was watching that earlier today, and said he was 32 years old, and he was just so beat up, and he just didn't think he was going to be able to. He might have one more run left in him, but he didn't want to wrestle anymore. But this guy's in his 50s, and he's still taking bumps like that. He's unbelievable. This guy. I've not been as impressed with anyone as I am with PCO. To be perfectly honest with you. There are many people I'm impressed by, but I think he takes the cake at the moment. Con ended up getting chokeslammed off the stage through a table, which was very, very good. One of the spots of the show. If it were up to me to establish Con in his new singles run, I would have had him get a win over PCO here. I know that this is a new era, TNA, all that, and maybe you want to keep PCO in the winner's circle, but I would have had Con get a win here because where do you go with him now? He talked about being the baddest man in TNA, and then he just lost his first big match since stating that. It would establish his solo run. Then we could have had a crazier stipulation next time to get PCO a win back before a third and final one on maybe an episode of TNA Impact to try and pop a rating. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, as I was typing all that up in my notes, PCO hit the PCO salt and won the match. And I'm like, okay, what the hell do I know then? If this is a one and done feud, a one match and it's over, then I think that's a mistake. Unless Con is finishing up here, which would be a shame because I think the guy has put in a lot of effort and he comes across realistic, and there'd be no reason for him to be, sent to the unemployment line. AJ Francis cut a promo on Joe Hendry. Hendry walked up to him. They have a confrontation. AJ, I am digging his character, and Santino books a match for Impact between the two. So we'll see how that goes. Tasha Steelz, Zaya, Brookside, and Jordynne Grace were showing getting ready for their world title match later on. But let's get to the next one. The Knockouts World Tag Team titles are on the line here. MK Ultra defending against Spitfire, which is Dani Luna and Jody Threat. So now the team has a name. Very nice. Dani Luna, they made their entrance. Masha attacked Jody with a chain, and Killer Kelly had attacked as well. I thought this match was going to get thrown out. Jody had been getting choked with this chain for a super long time. Dani got snowplowed on the outside by Masha. The match finally got underway despite this assault on the baby faces. Dani Luna pulled Masha out of the ring after a bit of a heat between or on Jody Threat, who kept on showing hope spots and signs of life. But after Dani pulled Masha out the ring, Jody rolled up Killer Kelly and got the 3 count, and now we again have new TNA Knockouts Tag Team Champions. This belt is like the most hot potato belt in wrestling right now. They have had so many Knockouts Tag Team Champions. And after the match, Masha shoved Killer Kelly, which is very concerning because they need to keep some teams together for a while at least. Don't understand it, but we got new tag team champions, Dani and Jody. So congratulations to them both. Singles match for the next one here. Josh Alexander takes on Hammerstone. Not Alexander Hammerstone. He is just Hammerstone, which is fine by me because Hammerstone's a cool name. So he's finally signed to TNA. I expect him to get the big win here. It's a great signing for TNA. And I thought this would be match of the show. A few minutes in, it was certainly what I would expect. It was physical. They were getting themselves over by having this stalemate and showing how, proficient they both are. Hammerstone no-sold a German suplex, and the look on the Walking Weapon's face was priceless. Way to sell it, man. Hammerstone has a lot of upside. I think that TNA really needed a guy like him to come on board. We need another heavy hitter, brother. This is a really good match between the two guys who look the part, feel the part. Hammerstone got wore out with a whole bunch of German suplexes from Josh Alexander. There had to have been 10 in a row. Unbelievable. Then Josh also hit a great dive to the outside. Josh Alexander, this little son of a bitch right here, he can do anything, this guy. The Walking Weapon can do anything. The Walking Weapon even became the Flying Weapon in this one. He's really one of the best of the world, I have to say, honestly. These two were given quite a lot of time. Hammerstone got caught in a few ankle locks, tapped out when the referee was knocked down. Very nice. Josh thought it was over. Went to check on the official. He set Hammerstone up for the C4 spike. Got field goal kicked between the legs. Testicles sent up north. Boom. Nightmare pendulum. Boom. Win. Boom. Hammerstone. Boom. That's the shit I'm talking about. I look forward to more rematches between these two. Let's keep Josh busy for a while. Let's keep him away from the world title program. Is it like, what happened to Simon Gotch? Was he just there for that one feud? It's not a problem. Just interesting that they do stuff like that. But I guess TNA can do it. They can do stuff like that. That's fine. Time Machine interview with GML. Jesus. She's a sight for sore eyes, man. Unbelievable, man. Just unbelievable. Some tension going on with the boys in Time Machine. I don't know. I wasn't looking at them or paying any attention. It's too hard. Shelley definitely looks like he is turning heel soon. 3 matches to go. Fuck, man. I'm sorry that it's a whirlwind, but I don't want to be here all night. I have other things I want to do. Anyway, 6-man tag team match. The Grizzled Young Vets, James Drake, Zack Gibson, teaming with Mustafa Ali, taking on Time Machine, Shelley, Sabin, KUSHIDA. Let's get into it. I could have done probably without the multi-man 6-man tag team match because I'm burned out on them, dude. And also I'm a bit tired. I have to let you know. So I'm a bit crazy. I think a Sabin Shelley feud should be on the cards. They have had matches together before, but most of them in the spirit of competition, or maybe prior to the Motor City Machine Guns being a team. But still, that would be something that would work for me, brother. And you know what? If I were WWE, honestly, I know that they're, veterans now of the business, but why not bring the Motor City Machine Guns to WWE for, a 2-year deal? See how they go. They need more teams there, especially established ones. Anyway, um, the Grizzled Young Vets are fitting very well into TNA, and I hope they stick around for some time. And I've been saying it for ages. The tag division needs a bit of an overhaul. KUSHIDA got a hot tag at one stage, came in, went to work on Ali, who I also think has been fitting into TNA very, very well. Doomsday Device from the Grizzled Young Vets. I don't know. I'm not going blow by blow anymore. I don't do that anymore. Excuse me, just hiccuped for no reason. The Good Hands ran out and got nailed by Sabin. And thanks to that distraction, well, not really, actually. Time Machine went to close in on Ali, but Sabin accidentally kicked Alex Shelley in the head. Yep, saw it coming, bro. Saw it coming. The Vets hit Grit Your Teeth, and Ali hit a 450 splash to win. That was a great finish. Well done, everyone. Second last match here, TNA Knockouts World Title 3-way match. Jordynne Grace defends against Zaya Brookside and Tasha Steelz. This Iceman guy who's flanking Ash by Elegance comes out and introduces her, and I'm assuming she'll be watching the match from ringside again. Zaya Brookside, I have to say this, she has very likable qualities. Like I could see how, excuse me, I could see how somebody like Zaya Brookside could be marketable because she's cute, she's pretty. I could see little girls like thinking that they could be like her, So tremendous upside, and she's very good in the ring. Haven't heard her cut a promo before, but maybe one day that'll happen. I just think she's very likable. She hit a sweet head scissors takedown early into the match. Jordynne hit a clothesline on Zia. Was it Zaya? Whatever. Whilst holding Tasha up for a muscle buster, then hit the muscle buster. Very impressive, Jordynne Grace. I didn't think there was going to be a chance there's a title change here. Zaya, I'm going to say Zaya, had Jordynne in an octopus stretch whilst Jordynne was in the middle of going for some sort of Indian death lock or whatever the hell you call it on Tasha Steelz. I got excited for a second that Zaya was going over. Don't know. Brookside dove over the top rope and crossbody the hell out of Jordynne Grace at one stage. I was so impressed with Brookside here. Tasha Steelz, I feel like I don't remember her doing anything. That's a bit strange, isn't it? I've just watched the match 40 minutes ago. I don't remember her doing anything. Anyway, best spot of the match was Tasha Steelz getting whipped into Ash by Elegance by Zaya Brookside. And she spilled her champagne all over herself. And then she was screaming. Iceman was telling her that it was her fault, and Brookside looked all horrified. Then she wanted to get out of there because she was so embarrassed that she had the champagne spilled on her. Well, mate, whose fault's that? So it's your fault. So as they were walking up the ramp, Iceman slipped and ate shit, and the commentators lost it. I bet he's like a little bit annoying, so seeing him like fall over, I'm sure that got a rise out of everyone. It was very good. So this was a really good match, and unfortunately, though, Zaya Brookside got pinned after a Juggernaut driver, which was very decent. The way that she was flipped around, you see the blonde hair kind of flipping around. It's like a human doll was getting just woman handled. Very good. So Jordynne Grace retains the Knockouts title. Let's move forward to the main event of the evening here. Moose defending the TNA World Championship against Eric Young. I knew ahead of time what was going to happen here. Frankie Kazarian was going to cost Eric this match. We know it. Come on. Moose dropped an F-bomb as they brawled to the outside at the beginning of the match. It was a bit of a stalemate in the ring as they went back and forth. I will have to admit, it was difficult being invested in this match because I felt like the match didn't have any heat, despite the fact that the crowd were into it. But, they only just been building to this for the last few weeks. So, they really did their best to have the best match possible. But, I've watched so much wrestling lately. I get really I don't know. Just I'm not uncomfortable. I watch so much of it lately. I get impatient and I just want things to be over and done with already. I don't know if that has something to do with my ADHD or whatever, but it's just I get impatient and I'm just like, come on, just hurry up and get to the end. It's bad, I know. I don't know why I'm like that lately, but I think, I look at the time and it's nearing, 10:30 at night, and now I'm doing the review and it's nearly 11 o'clock at night and I had all this other stuff I wanted to do. I have fun doing the reviews. I have fun keeping my finger on the pulse of all the different wrestling companies out there. I think it's been really good. As soon as MLW start doing pay-per-views, what do you know? NWA has been impossible for me to follow. But, I enjoy following all these companies and knowing what's been going on, because several years ago, I had no idea. I only did reviews of WWE and AEW pay-per-views, but then we added everything else. But still, I don't know why I'm going on a rant about this. It just gets a bit tiring after a while. I'll do this review. I'll upload it. Probably get like 30 views, but who cares? It's all right. It's good. At least it's content, right? And some people out there dig my shit. So anyway, so we get to a point in the match where Eric hits his top rope elbow. Moose kicks out. Eric kicks out of a spear, which makes Eric the second person after Josh Alexander to kick out of Moose's spear. Moose pile drove, or pill drove, as I typed here, Moose onto the ring apron and then onto the outside floor. He went for another pile driver, but the system ran out. Copped a suicide dive from Eric. He then hit a destroyer, and the referee got yanked out the ring by the system. And then the system got ejected. Whilst this was happening, Eric got choked by somebody who was disguised as a member of the crew. Yes, it was Frankie Kazarian, who is suspended at the moment. I knew something like this was going to happen. Moose then hit the spear to win and retain. The system stand tall to end the show. They got all the gold, baby. They got the tag titles. They got the heavyweight title. Excellent. Excellent. This show was better than No Surrender. I saw some improvements in the product here, but I'm still quite far from being 100% satisfied with TNA right now. I look forward to seeing how the rest of the year plays out with the system. It's good to see that this new heel team has finally shown they can get the job done and that the system works. Don't mean to take the piss out of it, but you hear it all the time. Someone who's feuding with them is going to be like, and after tonight, we'll find out that the system has failed. Oh, shut up. Shut up. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me here for my review of TNA Sacrifice. I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. Bit higher than I usually give TNA shows at the moment, which is usually between a 6.5 or a 7. No, there's no big science behind it. Just I'm feeling 7.5 out of 10, not quite an 8, which is what I gave NXT Roadblock this week. You should check out that review. It's on the channel as well. So thank you once again for joining me here on the Slam Society. I'm Karlifornia, and I will see you all down the road. Thank you.